on the same day that I planted my Back to Eden garden, the peas in my Back to Eden garden, I also came out here in the raised bed garden and planted peas here. Now, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that these raised beds are actually a fiberglass tub that's about 6 inches deep, 20 by 40, and I've got them filled with a mixture of compost and I did this years and years ago. Compost, peat moss, potting soil, and then since then I've made some addendums with wood chips and such. But these peas came up in about 5 days, pushed right through. I'm doing an experiment. These were I piled potting soil on top. You can see the perlite or whatever that's called on top. I put potting soil on top. On these, I came in and put wood chips on top. Now these wood chips have been laying there in my pile for about a year and a half, so they're really composted, really kind of hard to pick up with a manure fork now, because they're getting so thin, they're getting so small. It's hard for the fork. The tines on the fork are probably an inch and a quarter apart, maybe a little further than that. And as you pick them up, some of these are falling through because they're so small. But to alleviate your fears, whatever, on whether or not seeds will come up through wood chips, these again had just a thin layer, half inch or quarter inch, whatever, of potting soil on it, and these came up through those wood chips, and I'm talking about in some places probably 2 or 3 inches, maybe 4 of wood chips. I mean, I wanted to fill up these tubs because I wanted the wood chips to do 2 things. I wanted them obviously to be my covering, to also help with moisture, because in raised beds you really have a moisture issue. Keeping moisture in them is an issue. You got to water quite a bit. But I also wanted the wood chips to compost down and just help my raised beds here. So I was putting the wood chips on them. I was pretty much trying to fill them up almost to the top. They've settled a little since then, but there's 2 or 3 inches of wood chips here on top of these peas. Again, these are purple hull. 2 rows of purple hull, and I did a wide row. I don't know whether y'all familiar with that. Instead of doing a skinny row or a couple of skinny rows, I just sprinkle seed, and it's looked like most all of them came up because I didn't do it real heavy. But it's called a wide row, and it was real popular. I used to read about it a lot in Mother Earth News, but it's a popular way of planting things such as this. And so I wide rowed these. We'll see how they do. I don't think there'll be any problem with it. And let me show you over here, if I can go over here without making you sick. Take my time, walk without panning too hard. The last row here is the cream peas. This is the ones you saw in the Back to Eden garden that I just planted and have come up. These come up. I planted these the same day and covered these heavily with wood chips, real heavily, because some of these tubs were pretty low. The soil had compacted, and some of them were about that far down. So I put a lot of chips on these, but they popped right straight up. Now, these are pintos here in this row. Again, wide rowed both of these. Instead of just making a little row, I just sprinkle, kind of, not fill it up, but probably 50, 100 seeds in each one of these. The pintos took 2 or 3 days longer to come up, but that's okay. They just, they're late bloomers, whatever. Pintos just don't germinate as fast, I guess. But these are my peas and beans, pinto beans, peas, cream, peas, purple hull, both of these, purple hull. These are my peas in my raised bed garden. My wide row peas in my raised bed garden. I will show you the progress on these throughout the year. Shall we start picking? All right, and I'll show you all the other stuff in another video. How about that? That's a sneak peek. Just a sneak peek. I'll show it to you in another video. But here's the peas. All right, we're gone.